2019. And the first item on the agenda is election of officers. Evening, everybody. Any suggestions for chairman?
I'd like to nominate Joyce.
Second. Any show of hands on that? Thank you, Joyce. You didn't vote? Kind of selfish.
I was selfish, I didn't vote.
Co-chair. Any nominations?
I think where the chairman was the only vacancy, the vice chair still exists until September.
Oh,
You don't get away.
okay.
You still stop.
And there are no other offices, right?
No, we'll take care of that in September.
Okay. Thank you, Joyce.
You're welcome, thank you. We are going to be then in need of an alternate, I believe. And Donovan will be moving up.
We do have a help wanted sign posted. I
Yeah.
believe the selectmen have it on the website, so hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll be able to fill that position.
Good, good. And you'll be resworn as a full member,
Regular.
a regular member.
I wasn't running for it.
I wasn't either. There you go.
Joyce, you're in charge of running the hearing.
Okay, thanks. I'd like to open the meeting so we can get our public hearing on the record. So, does anybody have a problem with that? Have you read the minutes of our last meeting? And someone make a motion to approve the minutes of the,
I move that we accept as written, the minutes as written.
Second.
all in favor? Minutes are approved. We'll open our public hearing. I'm going to keep this to, we listen to everybody, what you have to say, what you'd like to say. Once we close the public hearing, you're welcome to stay, but at that point, all discussion from your side to this side ceases. And we will meet after, later and do our thing. So you tell us first, and that's it. That's the way it goes. So, yeah.
I have sometimes I think it's good to allow public input if an important point is raised during the board discussion of the public hearing segment. I would suggest that we, with a raise of hand, to say they have a concern they'd like to address.
If it hasn't been come up beforehand, I absolutely think that's a very good idea. And I'd be very happy to hear what people have to say. So, we shall open the public hearing.
Have Mr. Jones and Mr. Martel.
Yeah.
Walk through it.
Good evening.
I'm Brad Jones. I'm with Jones and Beach Engineers, and I'm here tonight to represent Arnie Martel on Buzzell Road residential subdivision. And hopefully I wasn't there 2 days ago. I think everybody had a chance to go out and do a site walk, which I think is very important to kind of get a look at the property and an idea of the quality of work that Arnie's doing out there to try to clean the place up and get some good views and develop the lots. We did come into the board last month and we had some discussions informally on the property, and we came back with a revised plan, and we've also answered a few questions for the board on the hydrogeology study, and I submitted that letter on June 27th. And that, what I did is I went out and looked at everybody's well that's in proximity to the subdivision, kind of looked at the depths, locations, and I've got that in a letter form that I submitted to the town. And you got that, Ken?
Yeah.
And looked that over, and that seemed reasonable.
Yeah, the wells are ranging in depth from 2 to 300, there's one 600-foot. Which is way past the subdivision.
Yes, yeah.
That report wasn't in our folder tonight, right?
No.
No, it was just a letter. People's addresses and their well depths.
I give you a copy of that.
Is this the next one?
Sure. Yep. One of the items that we're doing as part of the subdivision, we're going to give back a strip of land, and you can see it on that plan. You can find that picture. It's hatched out, and it's up along the road, and the reason for that is so that we keep Buzzell Road with a 50-foot right-of-way. And so if there's any future expansion of that road, ditch work, all that, the town has the ability to work on the road properly and have enough room. And you can see right now the road is 33 feet to the right-of-way, so we're increasing that to 50 feet, which is a normal width of another right-of-way. So that's something that is part of our plan, and that runs the whole frontage of Buzzell Road. All the lots are 2 acre, they're 250 feet of frontage on Buzzell Road, and then there is a remaining strip of land that is 26 acres that is below, that will remain undeveloped. I haven't switched to this thing.
In that area, you're giving back to the town, you're removing all the dead and hazardous trees. You also remove or grind the stumps down in that area? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be all seeded, it'll be all field.
And that's about 6/10 of an acre, the area wide, so it's over a half acre of land. So. Can you flip to that next plan? And that's a yield plan. So we submitted that to the town as just to show what a open space subdivision would look like. And then, do you have that first plan?
I've got the 27 plan, is the only other one I've got.
Okay.
One of the back.
Well, it shows the well radiuses and the radius. It's the 8. Okay. Well, basically, the A2 plan shows the 100-foot wells in each lot, shows the driveways. We did go out and stake out all the driveways, and Ken, did you go and look at the location of those?
Yeah.
Okay. And we've actually got the address of each property based on 911, so that's been updated on this plan, the A2 from our last meeting. And the board has that plan.
Thank you.
Sure.
Mrs. Lopez?
Where does it show the driveway entrances in reference to our driveways? Like, we're on lot 17.
Okay, yep.
So that's showing where our driveway is. So here's whatever that lot is, right, where's the driveway? Is it right across from ours, or is it kitty corner, or,
Is this your line?
no? I can't tell on this one. Because it's not, it's this one, good one, right. So, and if our driveway is way over here, where,
Right
it's
there.
right there?
Right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, that map doesn't show.
And now remember, this is a small scale, so that's 250 feet of frontage, so that's probably over 150 feet away.
Okay.
Okay.
The map's coming.
Oh, it's up
Second
here.
page.
Thank you. I have one other question. There's, all along our lot line, there's little circles. What does that mean?
That's a stone wall.
Is that, okay, so there's a stone wall that runs behind your pieces of property also, correct?
That's correct, there are stone walls on our property.
Okay.
And then that small single circle, that's the iron pins, the property
Well,
pins.
that's funny, because there's a rock wall between ours and the next lot, and it doesn't show it.
Well, we don't, those are the major walls that are picked up when we survey.
Okay.
So a lot of times we show some of the features on, we're concentrating on the property on the other side.
Okay.
But we do pick up, features like that the best we can.
In the lot next to it, 282 Buzzell, where's the driveway in that respect? That stubs.
There's a driveway for lot 3-5.
Actually, let's see, the map's not up there anymore, so.
It's coming.
And it's showing that their driveway is like right in the middle of their lot, so where would be the driveway for this lot?
Yeah, so we have all the driveways on the lower side of the lot,
But they're not right
there it
there.
is, right there, yep. So is this a lot?
See, then it's showing that it's
That's the
almost
driveway.
right across from her driveway.
This lot, yeah?
Yep,
Okay.
that's our neighbor who's not here, so we gotta report to her.
Oh, I see, okay. Is that a problem, or? Okay. Because I think with if you look at that driveway, we usually more look at light shining into a house, So I would think if there was any kind of issue with the driveway, at least it's going up the driveway, it's not pointing at the
I'm
house.
just thinking of snow removal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if it's right across,
Oh, I see,
And
okay.
I'm looking at the markings also that were on your lot 3-5. I believe it was offset from her driveway. The ones that were on if you had marked on the road.
Oh, the markings on the...
Yeah.
Okay. So is it blue paint that they mark? The driveways are...
Orange.
Yeah, so the driveways are blue paint?
That was the first one. That was revision number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I guess we go through this plan a little bit. So this plan shows these round circles on each lot as low areas. The hatched in areas are area where the septic below. We did test pit all the lots. There's at least 2 test pits on each lot, and we proved out that each lot can have a septic and a well, and everything fits within the lot lines. Yes?
Did you study the traffic impact both during construction and once the construction is complete?
We did look at site distance on driveways, and we don't have any issues with that, because that road is fairly straight. So as far as that, that would be the only really concern, site distance. The trips per day, you've only got a single-family home in there, so it's going to be very limited traffic increase that would result from these lots.
Yeah, if you're looking at 7 lots, we're probably looking at about 20 additional cars.
Exactly, yep.
But during construction, as we've seen with construction up the hill, there's an awful lot of heavy equipment coming along, coming up Young's Ridge on Buzzell Way, Buzzell Road. Have you estimated what that's gonna do to it? Are you gonna be able, where are you gonna put the trucks when they come in with the materials?
We'll be talking about the road, and we'll be on the site as they pull in, as we clear the stumps. After that, we may be building 7 houses all at one time. Right now, there's only 1 house in the future for next year to be built. But as far as, I think we said, as far as the truck traffic, once I clear an area, I'll come in from the other side with the equipment. Once I clear an area, they're not gonna park on the road, they'll go right to the site. I'll keep one site designated just for the equipment.
So I was down there yesterday and the road was blocked by the tree removal equipment.
Well, that's how the guy did it. I wasn't too happy about it, but once again, I was trying to save the town a bunch of money by my expense by cutting all the dead trees along the road. What's left here is gonna stay, and I was out there selecting the dead trees, and that was the best way he did it. I really didn't like the way he did it, but they were pretty big trees, so he took it over slow. And I think there's maybe 15 big dead trees, and that's why it was out on the road. So, but from now on, there should be no truck traffic, no traffic at all on the road. And you'd probably see 1 or 2 houses a year if you're lucky. But I'm not, like I said, there's 1 house right now that I probably be building, and 1 house shouldn't generate much traffic.
So what that's what,
No, I won't be building 7 houses at one time, you know. And even if I did, I can police it so they're off the road, and there's ways around it. I'm trying to head towards, lean towards like a panelized building. Half the subs, half the mess goes up quicker. So that's why I'm getting prices. I'll work around a little winter to get a good idea. You know, how to do it like that. I don't see too many people knocking down the doors of those houses right now. And I will be around the police if it's not done right now.
you're the owner?
I'll be there policing it, trust me. I know,
You are the owner?
yes.
The condition of Buzzell Road is pretty bad. I mean, I think that's also a concern where the town doesn't have enough money to
Yeah, some areas are,
maintain the roads the way they should. And Buzzell is one that needs a lot of work. I just throw that out there for what it's worth.
Do we have more?
Do we know if there's like little kids, or is there gonna be like more bus traffic, dropping kids off? I mean, are we gonna have to? Okay.
the study I did last year was, and I went to the schools to see how the kids were, and they are looking for kids. I don't have enough kids in the school, so that wasn't an issue. But the interest I've got on both sides of the property, what I'm doing with it, is older people that just want to retire and stuff. There's no kids. There has been no kids. And for what I want for the lots and what I'm going to do for the houses, ain't too many people with kids that can be able to afford a house up there. 'Cause I want to do something nice, you know?
Right.
But, no, that don't seem to be an issue. But before I did anything, I went to the schools, and they said, honestly, our quota's down. We're looking for kids. You know, because they're gonna run the schools, heat the schools, and it's hard to heat the school with 8 kids when they can handle 28 kids. But that wasn't an issue at all.
Okay.
Now, at this time, like I said, what the values are worth, I don't think there's too many people out there with kids. You know, to afford a lot or a house, you know.
Now, the properties were assessed a little while ago. With this now going in, is there gonna be a reassessment? And will the property taxes increase?
That'd be an assessor question, but he's being assessed currently for 1 lot with excess acreage and excess road frontage. His tax bill is going to change now to 7 tax bills for 7 buildable lots. So my assumption would be it's gonna multiply dramatically, even to 7 vacant lots.
That stinks for me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't agree, it wouldn't affect you people. It would affect me.
Is our property values going up, or our taxes gonna be going up?
Your tax won't go up.
Oh,
Your
okay.
value will go up if you decide to sell.
Okay.
I mean, look at the views you have now.
Yeah.
You got brand new houses across the street. In my vision, even if I sell lots, I'm not too sure which way, no matter what I do, if I sell lots, I'm still gonna police it. Because my name, my reputation's on them houses. And what I'd like to see over there is a panelized home, nice farmer porches, something high end, something that's gonna look good, that the people can afford too. And that's gonna bring the, just what I did now, the value is going through the roof for you people. Yeah, I make you up 25%.
I mean, our view is incredible.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, if you wanna sell, I'll be interested in buying it, if you wanna sell today, before the meeting ends now, but.
I think
that'll be
we're on
good.
that side,
We can talk.
behind you.
Yes, do the lots have water access to Great East Lake?
No.
I was at the site walk the other day, and it was raining, so it was a little difficult to be able to walk all around everything, see everything. And I was curious as to what it was gonna be like down below, because I'm certified soil and water, so I'm a little anxious to see what the runoffs and so forth were gonna be. And Tom asked me to go down and take a look at it, so I went down today. Arnie gave me a tour of the whole place. Don't go riding with him. He gave me a tour of everything, and he literally showed me everything I asked about. And I followed the streams right down to the lake to see what kind of a situation was there. I took pictures of it. He has several different erosion control systems that he's using on the development there. And you're gonna get some runoff, obviously, from the hill, but it's captured before it goes into the brooks and so forth. And I was pretty impressed by the extent that he's gone to try to control the erosion and so forth. I've seen a lot of sites being developed that are nowhere near as conscientious as what he's trying to do. So I just wanted to make that point, because I know some of us didn't get a chance to get down there and see it. And I've got some pictures if anybody wants to look at them, but it's done quite well.
Yeah, if you would share them with us, and we can share them with the others. Thank you.
I have a question on the water again. Are all 7 wells going to be of the same aquifer?
Each lot is separated with 250 feet apart, so
We have some fairly large aquifers in this area.
I would say probably yes, yeah.
I live up the hill from it, and are you going to drain my aquifer?
Well, I mean, the amount of water from a subdivision of this size is very, very minimal. I don't think it's just going to lower any water tables or anything like that.
That is not in the aquifer district either.
It is not?
No.
Any more questions from,
Yeah, just a comment. I'd like to officially welcome Mr. Martell to the area. I know that he grew up here. Thank you for everything you've done, the openness that you've shown, and your willingness to work with all the people that are about to your property there. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I was waiting for a buck.
Once I said, I'll be around, you know, I live up the hill and I'll be here, concerned to get my number, and I want to be a good neighbor too, so, what I could have done with the property, I wouldn't do, but, I'm glad to get it, because a lot of guys trying to butt heads to get it from me, and, you don't want to know what they were doing with it, but we ended up with it, so it's good, so.
Yeah.
And if I can help anybody, you people, or anybody else,
Are you gonna be a year-round resident?
I don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
I gotta, I don't know, I like coming up in the winter too, but, we'll see what happens, I don't know. I like the winter.
It's too brutal here.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I was talking to Steve today about the snow, I remember it used to be pretty high, so, we'll see. If not, I'm only a phone call away, you know, so, I'm sorry about last winter, I wasn't around and I was out of commission, but, I'll be around. Even if I'm not here, if I'm down somewhere with the kids, Disney World, with my grandkids, I'll come right back. Just neighbors are more important, you know? So, maybe a few days at a flight, but, I'm around.
What are you gonna do with the rest of that, right?
Right now, I'd like to get a river approved, so I can get some lots on the water. And I'm up on the hill right now, my wife wants to go to the water, I want to go to the hill. So unless we get the boat, she can do her thing, and I'll do mine, we can meet in the middle. But right now, I'll probably get a road approved and build a house on the water.
I mean, are you gonna put another development in there, or are you just gonna?
I'm weighing it out right now, what to do with it, you know, because even if I did, in a perfect world, I'd like to get something approved over there. Something ever happens to me, I'll leave my wife with a hornet's nest. But even if I did, it'd be nothing I want to build in the near future. I just don't want to have houses in front of us, you know. I'd like to get it developed, get it all landscaped, get all the right drainage in, get it paved, because I'd like to pave the whole thing. Put some nice street trees coming, something that grows low. Put some nice stone walls on the driveway, and get it all done 100%. All the fields have been screened low, so that's how I'm gonna do it. So I don't see anything in the near future to develop it, but I don't want to say that I'm not gonna build it. Maybe somebody comes along, a relative or something, because for some reason I got a lot of relatives, since they do with my brother a lot for free, but no, there'll be nothing there as long as I'm around, because I don't want to see nothing. But it could be something, there'll be something down by the water, one lot there. It could be 1 or 2 lots here and there, but I'm not gonna push it to do anything, but I'd like to get it approved so it's done. I know it's gonna be, big tax burden to the state, but it's gonna make it. They'll make a lot more money per lot, which I understand I'm gonna have to pay for. So, it is what it is. And, that's about it. I do it for my grandkids, you know, so.
Sites look awful close together.
These right here? Well, they're not really, they're 250 feet apart.
They're 250 feet the size of the lot.
Right. But the houses, I'm gonna try to get right in the middle of the lot, so it'll be 250 apart, and I'm gonna stagger them, so it ain't gonna look like the barracks coming out. Right now, I'm looking at 2 or 3 different plans. If I sell lots, hopefully my wish list is, here's the house and hopefully they'll build. If not, I want a plan, it's gonna be in the deeds that I have to okay the plan. And actually, Ken's been great to deal with, and I run it by Ken. I don't do anything unless the neighbors know or Ken knows. Well, the neighbors on development, but as far as the house go, hey Ken, what do you think of this? And I want to do something that's going to be really nice. I'm not going to sell a lot, somebody's going to come in and put an outhouse in there for 10 years, so they're going to be fair to you people. So it's something that I got to police, because I don't want to look at it either, but if you stagger them right, as a land developer and builder, it'll be a nice layout. So every house you buy, you're gonna look at a different type of house, a different concept. And even if they build all the same houses, which would never happen, if you stagger them right, landscape them right, they'll look nice. And that's something that I'm gonna police.
Question, just to clarify, your question. When you asked, Arnie, what are you gonna do with the remainder of the lot? What were you?
The land all the way behind it. All the way behind it, from the top of the hill down to the lake. He just told me if I put something at the lake,
Well, no, that's on, there's 2 parcels of land. I own like almost 50 acres on one side, 50 on the other side. Everything behind those lots to the bottom of the ridge that goes towards the lake, that's gonna be all open space. I'm gonna give back to the town or conservation, or if it's something that I end up, all depends on what Ken wants me to do with it, and do it. If that's something I end up with, then it will be, never be built on, it'll be just walking paths only, be a nice field. And that's what I'm gonna do with it. I had a design on putting the road back to the more houses. I didn't like the layout, so I went with the 7 lots instead. And I'm gonna take the rest of the land, it's gonna be put with the rest of the land from my side, the other 50 acres. So in the middle, we'll end up with about 40, 45 acres of open space. And never to be touched, never to be built. And like I asked Ken, when they get to you, how do they do it up here? Do they give it to the conservation? Because I want it so nobody can do anything back there either. Because I'm spending boatloads of money just to make it feel, and I like to have it stay like that, because I do have some deals with a couple of farmers up here that hate it. This way I don't have to cut it, but I'll cut it if I have to, but this way they can cut it and feed the animals, and never to be developed. That's why they have a lot of these concepts, it's called a cluster, I think it's a cluster up here too, a cluster subdivision, smaller lots, and you have more open space.
Again, just to clarify, you were thinking of all of that, either Youngs Ridge Road, extra.
yeah, from the top of Young Ridge Road, I didn't even put it down there.
Yeah, no, that'll be future development on my side, that'll be half the field, you know.
That's where you got the excavator working, far
Yes,
from the corner.
yeah.
You know, there's only 5 houses, I think, on the other side of Buzzell Road, that whole length.
On the other side of the street? Yeah, give it that 1, 2, 6.
Yeah, you count Mooney's, it's set way back there.
9. Yeah, 9. And don't look at this, I got them pretty well hidden in the back. At the same time, I'm putting in the deeds too, that the trees and the remainder of the trees are gonna stay. They can't touch the trees on the town, on this roadway, because now those are gonna be town, because I'm donating some land to the town, because it's easier to give them the land now than fight with 7 people that own the land that don't wanna give it up. And I know how it works, so I'd rather give the town the land now, because they have enough land behind it. So I should the town, agree to give it to them now, and those trees can't be cut, because the town's gonna own them.
You got trees right there on the edge of the road still.
Those are gonna stay. And those are going to the town, I'm gonna deed all that to the town. So this way, the town can do what they want with them. And I cut all the dead stuff, at my expense, I cut all the big dead stuff out of it. Everything that's there right now is gonna stay. I'm gonna cut some of the smaller stuff, I'm gonna put wood chips all along the road, so it really makes the trees look nice. And the trees in between each lot can't be touched, it's gonna be in the deed. If you buy a lot, you decide to cut every tree on the other lot, it ain't gonna be fair to everybody else. And I agree with Ken, it would be a lot nicer. I kept all the best ones I could, they'll flush out, they'll fill out in the next few years. I cut all the dead stuff out of there, and it's gonna be in the deed, you cannot touch those trees. Now, naturally, unless one dies or it falls over. And I didn't even put it in, check with the building department before they cut it or clear it.
It's increased the wind up there a lot. I lost 4 large trees just this spring.
Yeah.
2 40-foot pines, a beech tree, and another tree. They all just came down with a little bit of wind.
Well, we had, a lot of wind, we had some windstorms that we never had before. I've been up here for almost 5 years, and it was crazy over the winter. The Horn family, they've been up here for 100 years, and there was a couple windstorms, and like a couple rainstorms we had. What are the chances, you know? But there's people that ain't even on that side that lost trees down the street. My poor people's friends of mine lost a lot of trees there too. So unfortunately, we had a couple bad windstorms. So.
Yeah, it seemed to me that with all the trees down, just going for one time.
Yeah.
Because it's not nice in the winter, but it's very nice in the summer.
We can feel the wind in the winter.
Yeah, it's close to 10 feet of snow up there in the winter.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have any other questions, concerns,
Grace.
statements?
Sort of off subject a bit, Mr. Bartel, how did you come up with the name of Young's Ridge with apostrophe S?
Oh, I don't know,
I've always, my daughter is an apostrophe Gestapo, and she said, I really do give up, it could be either apostrophe S or S apostrophe, and town says neither.
yeah, I don't know, it's a good question, I don't know, you just caught me.
Yours is the only sign that says that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Anyway, okay, you didn't have any research to prove that?
No.
I wish you had.
There you go.
Well, that property was owned by Young, not Young's.
Yeah, but apostrophe S is their property.
Yeah.
Possessed, basically possessed, it's probably was bad, yeah.
Do we have anything else? Okay, if that's it, I would like to close the open meeting and get on with the business of the board. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. You're welcome to stay. It's all up to you.
Thank you.
I think we can, yeah. Okay. Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Okay, we are back to old business, and the first thing on our agenda is the Clarisson on Russell Road subdivision. So, and I know we've got a lot to talk about. So we had our sidewalk the other day in the rain. Probably one of the better sidewalks as far as I'm concerned. I came home with no ticks, and that's the first. But we have some questions, and Gavin, you had also a few things, so why don't we start with you?
Yeah, just everybody, I guess we're standing in front of a lot of debris, as I believe that, for most of the time. Yeah. Pretty practice.
Right.
What number would that have been? Yeah.
3-3.
And you're looking at,
Okay, the third one from the right.
Yep.
you're looking at A2, correct?
Yeah.
A1.
I was just looking at the one with the comment and what's on there.
Yeah, he's looking at one.
It's the same.
It's the same, yeah. All right, then our
Yeah,
motion.
just wondering if anyone else on the board thought it would be worth doing another site visit in a few weeks or something, whenever it's flagged out in the back of the walls are flagged out.
Yeah, because I'd like to see the slope, because I mean, I know that the other side is really steep, and not being able to actually, have it all marked out, be able to walk it. I couldn't really see the slope. And I think that would be a good thing to do.
I agree. So, without signing off on this thing, or in the absence of some information and experience of that little flowage area there, from what the gentleman from the public, the fellow who took the photographs, down there said he was quite pleased with what he saw today. He was very pleased, as I understood it, but I think it might be important for the board members to, because we could see maybe 50% of the depth of what we were facing on the North Pleasant Road side there, so I'd like to make a site visit.
There's a lot of growth still there that wouldn't be when these lots are actually cleared and marked.
I think it's important that we get a sense of how water is going to be flowing on this site before we sign up.
Where it's being absorbed to.
Where it's being absorbed?
Yeah.
Or from,
Are you guys available Saturday?
The second?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Will the corners be marked, but would we be able to actually
Right,
get
that's-
out there?
That would be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do all the stumping, all the grindings, get rid of all that, put the water control line in there. And then, I want to, that's the last thing we want to do, we want to get it ripped out, knocked out, they already knocked out my stakes. And then we're going to stake out the lots and do all the pins and everything.
I think they just want to see where the limits of those lots are. So they just want to see the stakes just for the sidewalk to approve it, is that right?
Yeah. Pretty much, would you agree? Yes.
I mean, I can give you a ballpark where they are, there might be one or two left, where the back of the lots are, the line is.
Yeah, well, I think because we can only see
Right.
so much.
Right.
We'd like to see, where does that water disperse? I mean, this was very good, this gentleman brought it to us. It was excellent to see. It's all what you said.
Yep.
So that's, that's excellent. But I think for due diligence, we'd like to see what it is. So, I heard 2 no's when somebody asked for Saturday.
What day is Saturday?
I being one of them, and Tom being the other.
Day after tomorrow. Now it's kind of too short a notice, right? Because kind of, we need to be a week out, right?
It would be good. I mean, there's
Can we try it before the next meeting?
The next
Next-
Thursday?
The first Thursday in August?
August 2nd?
August 2nd is our next meeting, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
I'll be back from New York. And then,
you will? Okay. How are you, before our next meeting on August 2nd?
8-2? Yeah. I can
Yeah,
make it.
yes,
Yes.
Sure.
okay.
That was that before, so you're gonna wait for the approvals until that?
Sorry?
So do you approve something tonight, or disapprove it, or do you wait till that's done, or would that be one of the, would that be a conditions to the planning board? They wouldn't issue no building permits till it was done?
Sorry.
I'd like to do some banking over there, so, I mean, we're gonna wait a month, and, we can have it done. I mean, I can put the pins in, or I can put the stakes in, this way it'd be easier for you people to see it. Brad, you...
Yeah, I mean, it's staked with it except for the last 20 feet, so
Right.
we can do that at any time, we'll make that happen, so that won't tie anything up. so.
We're talking 2 weeks,
Okay.
and we'll do it just before this meeting.
Yep.
We'll leave your site, come back here,
Okay.
and have our meeting.
Okay.
And that could be the way it goes.
Want to pick a time on that, Joyce?
What can you do, Ken? What's your schedule?
I mean, if you guys think you're walking over the hill, down the drainage ditch and back out, that's a couple hours.
Is there a lane from the Youngsford roadside that could get us?
No, I'm gonna have it stopped and cleaned up. You'll be able to drive the car out there in 2 weeks. So it's gonna be a little different looking than the other day. I'm hitting it high. Tomorrow, Monday morning, we're gonna hit, that's gonna be all nice and clean, you'll be able to drive the car out there.
Maybe your car, but not my car.
No, it'll be all cleaned up,
are we
yeah.
gonna be able to go down that road, down off the corner of Buzzell?
Yeah.
And then down that way where the,
Sure.
the water trips have gone in?
Yep.
Well, if not, we could access it from the other side and get a little closer.
Right? Then
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock I would think.
All right. Really good. Okay. Worst case scenario, okay.
It's 5:30, well, because Yellow's not gonna be able to make it either way. So,
I can do whatever time on that day.
and I can do whatever time. 5 is fine, 5 it is.
That's a Tuesday, right?
No, it's Thursday the 2nd.
Thursday. Oh, excuse me.
What time you gonna do it?
What are you planning on doing with all the stumps? Are you gonna,
Grinding them.
you're gonna grind the leaves on site?
Yeah, that stuff works awesome, yeah, so on the other side, when I did down by the water, I'm gonna put an 8-foot mound of those, all.
Yeah, so that's fine, if we put that as a condition.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I've been buying it, but now I'm gonna grind all the stumps, but,
Yeah.
it's.
By grinding, you mean pull them and then grind them?
Pull and grind.
Yeah, and then use it for erosion control laws.
That stuff works awesome.
Yeah.
We use silt fence back in town,
Yeah.
back in Mass. I've been telling you guys are crazy, it don't work. Even the animals knock it over, the wind knocks it over.
Yeah.
How many acres do you think you're gonna have grubbed out at a time between now and then?
Well, I'm gonna start Monday morning rubbing, I wanna do all 7. I wanna do behind the lots, over the slope, so you can't see.
Yeah.
And I like to do it a little bit further in some areas, so you ain't looking at stumps, it looks beautiful fields. I'm gonna go right down the line and get them done. I'd say, I'll probably have them all done within 2 weeks.
So more than an acre open at a time? Seed or stabilize as you're going through and...
Gentleman is gonna do all the stumping, he says he stumps them, and then he winds them, and all the growth on the bottom, the fines, all the little bushes and everything, he doesn't disturb that. So that's nice for me, so I can do one lot at a time. But as far as stumping them and grinding them, that'll be done without even all the ground covers. It doesn't erode anything.
So we'll have less than an acre of disturbed area open?
Maybe more than an acre.
Unstabilized, so stabilize as you go.
Yes.
Below some hay or...
Yep. Hydro seed, squeeze
seed,
them, put it right back like I'm doing on my side, it worked out great.
yeah, because when the gravel pits open at more than 10 acres, we ask them to work with the DEP, right?
Right.
So, I mean, 7 times 2 is 14, plus the back of the lot, so we're,
Yeah, I'll never have that much open. And like, I've been working with Canada, I just hydro seed, I screen loom, hydro seed right behind it. It makes, it's peace for me, peace of mind for myself, you know? It's pretty flat, the lots are pretty flat except for the first and second one, and that was just need a little bit more attention with with all the grindings and everything, so.
how about the boulders, you're just gonna push them out of the back of the water?
Yeah, no. Those are gonna be, I'm gonna bring them to a designated area, they're gonna be buried back in the ground, so it doesn't, because it's a pretty bad eyesore.
Right.
From my side, I mean for the neighbors or the people drive down the street, I wanna get them all together, put them back in the ground, spread their, fill around, reloom it, seed it.
So maybe we should get that area designated on the plan just for future reference. Sometimes we get these
Yeah, well,
holes and pockets in the ground,
Oh, no, no,
and then
no.
later people go by and then...
well, because if you do it right, you don't have that. Some people just throw the whole boulders in, you gotta mix dirt back in, you gotta pack them in with dirt. So
Right,
no sediment.
But, I mean, maybe we could get it designated on the plan.
I'm gonna put them along the stone wall, so.
The old stone wall is way...
This
Yes.
one way down here?
Yes, to the right.
Yeah.
To the right hand side. Looking at the plan, they'll be along this left-hand stone wall. Oh,
This one here?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so they're only one spot, and there's a lot of, the bigger ones I'm gonna keep out there, because they look nice from the inside.
If I were buying a house, I'd tell you, I want one.
Yes, the smaller ones I'm gonna take out, maybe 1 or 2 feet that just stick it out of the ground.
Yeah.
So I can grass it.
Right,
But the
right.
bigger ones, it looks pretty nice on my side, and the other
Throw
side.
some plants in there and get things growing.
Well, it's gonna be a seed mix, it's gonna be 1.5 to 2 feet in height.
Yeah.
Then it dies off, it comes back every year.
Yeah.
So a lot of you won't see just the big ones, it's gonna be shockwave out there. But if they're buried correctly, you'll never have sinkholes, and they're gonna be dispersed different areas, but mainly right along.
Mainly along.
There you go, yep.
Okay.
Yep. And there's all that good work out there, it's gonna look nice.
You can make that,
Put it in there.
yeah, all of that. Anybody else?
I was just wondering if the board maybe wanted to look at some of the conditions we had for the Nacy Farm subdivision, just to, I didn't know if that would help us, just a refresher.
I think we all have those, and if we, go back. Do you have yours with you?
I probably wouldn't have to.
No.
I don't have those, yeah.
I don't know, it's just, I remember, it's like when we do a project, it's good to
Yeah,
look at
but
the
we
similar.
can get
routes.
copies of those. get them.
Yeah.
Do you think they can get the secretary to email them to us?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And then that way we'll have them, you know, when we go out there, so it's just,
Yeah,
Just remember that was a cluster
yeah,
subdivision.
Right.
yeah, it's a different thing.
It
There's-
wasn't 55 and older or anything, but
And there's water issues there that won't be here. But, I mean, we can look at them. I
Right.
think I've actually got.
Does it
a copy of
refer to the subdivision regulations?
Yeah.
By paragraph number? No,
No,
it's just verbiage.
right. You know, condition number 1, right? No outhouses on the lot.
Oh, yeah. And for another person, you know, for some of their rocks, I'm just gonna do the whole, that's on this roll again. So
Yeah.
they don't get, you know, I'm not gonna be moving rocks all over the place. but
Right, of course.
Just the important ones that are ground cover, I'm gonna get rid of those so I can see
Yeah.
it. But, you know, so just,
So, anything else?
Ken, do you feel like we should get some erosion control notes on the plan like we would with a larger grubbed out site?
I thought we did.
I don't see much about erosion control or revegetation.
I think it's gonna be all done before this plan is even in front of the board.
Yeah.
Is how it sounds to me.
and once again, it just, sorry, Kevin, once again, it's not gonna run to water and it's just too far to go. Is like the gentleman who took pictures of it out there today, goes, yeah, you'll never have erosion control up here, you know? It ain't like I'm gonna have 10 or 15 acres open. And I do have some areas I wanna put some stump line in that I think I should do. It might be a waste, but once again, I just sleep at night knowing that I'm safe, you know?
Right.
And that's mainly where the road goes down, the old farm road, so.
Does the board want to accept the plan that we're at now, or do you have changes you want to see on it?
I'm still interested in seeing a line on this plan that perhaps following the contour line of the ground, that would be the rubbed out line in the back. It looks like on this map, something like 710 feet would be pretty good. I think Ken had one up there that showed 720 and 700. And big orange lines on one of them.
An area that's no disturbed?
Well, the back of the grubbed area from Buzzell to 710 feet elevation or something. Because I was thinking it'd be an easy way to define the back would be, they probably have it right on your smartphone. You can just push a button, it tells you what elevation you're at now.
Yeah, we can definitely get that line. You want to know the back of the lots
Do
are?
we have it?
The back of the grubbed out area, that would help us determine the full acreage for what's gonna be grubbed out.
Okay.
And then I was thinking my contour line would be, from what you drew with your finger on the map the other day, the sidewalk, and we kind of have a approximate line in it.
So,
Is that red line you drew?
700.
Yeah, it's right here. I got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks like, something like 710 feet or
Yeah.
elevation, and if we could,
Show that to Brad.
Brad missed the sidewalk, so he doesn't get it.
I did miss the sidewalk.
You left your, intended.
this one shows 720, but that's probably not quite far enough
This is
back.
700, yeah, whoops, there it goes.
There, yeah.
Yeah. 720 probably isn't far enough back to accommodate all the lots.
That's not right.
Yeah, it shows it on the right-hand side of the whole property now.
It's too far apart.
Yeah. But you can see them on this map, they're just really hard to see. They're all on the left-hand side over where you were saying you pile of rocks. You got the 710, 700, 690. It looks like 2-foot contours in the corner. Maybe we could come up with an agreement on elevation, and we could just pin that down for you. How many full acreage is going to be rubbed out.
Gary, refresh my memory, would you please? What is going to be delineated by the 720, 710 contour?
That'll be the back of the
Back of that area.
Now, he talks about he wants to grab the lot and then go down over the hill so you don't see anything.
Yeah.
But which contour line, these darker ones are 10 feet apart, here's 700, here's 710.
Downhill for this contour?
Would be undisturbed in terms of drawing, there'd be no drawing. Long, yeah, they're fine.
So we left natural contour, natural material.
Where does that,
Yeah.
you had talked about maybe Three River Trout Store, something like
So it's
that.
gonna be more than 10.
Where is that going to fall in
Yeah.
here?
Then we can get a full image for what it's.
For the open space,
Yeah,
I don't understand exactly.
well, where the Trout area,
Oh, it's gonna be from the back of the lot lines?
yeah,
From there down to at least the brook.
at least the brook.
Yes.
And that's,
So, what, 40 acres, Brad?
yeah, that's what I was trying to think, you said something, that's 40 acres.
Yeah.
And that, you're talking about either putting in trucks or dealing
Yeah.
with Three Rivers or
Right.
something like that. And you've
Yeah.
been talking to Ken about that,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
On
So that's
sheet
40
one,
acres, I thought.
A1 that we're looking at,
I'm interested in what they're that on the lot.
But, yeah,
you mean, on the plan that we're looking at tonight, the 627 addition,
right,
A1, are you thinking the remainder of the lot would be excluding the house lots, of course?
right.
Everything down slope from that to the property line?
Well, it's gonna change now, the property line's gonna be behind the lots.
Yes.
And the rest of the land's gonna be put with my 50 acres on my side.
Right.
And then once I do something on my side, then I take the rest of my land on my side and add it to this. And then I'll have a description how much I'm gonna give. And it's probably like 40 to 50 acres. So until I get my side done, it's gonna be another big parcel. We're gonna get rid of one lot line, the old lot line, it's gonna be added to my land. And that's where the new lot line's gonna be right there. And then once I do that, and I design my side, then we take the rest of the land and then we put it into a trust where it can never be touched.
So that's not gonna happen until after
Right.
the stuff is done on your other side.
Yeah, that's right.
And just so I'm sure I'm understanding it right here, from the back lot lines of the 7 lots, east facing slope down to this low of the
Yeah.
flowage line, and then coming up again on this slope
Right,
of Youngs Ridge Road.
right.
Okay.
Most of that field is gonna be, I'm gonna donate that, well, I'm just gonna turn it over to a trust.
When you say 40 acres, is that comprised of this primarily, on this plot plan here?
Let me see, 40? Yes.
Okay.
And then I have my piece over here, so you're probably getting about 50-something acres altogether.
And this is 28 acres of remaining
Okay,
land.
there you go,
Yeah,
28 here.
28 here.
Yeah.
And then the rest is on mine, it's probably both sides be close to 45 acres maybe?
I would think so, yeah.
So we're almost at
So,
30 and then
If- From
another.
here to here, total of 28?
Yes.
Is that- Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I'll wait till Ken comes back.
He's,
Can we have Ken back?
he's coming.
All right, we'll discuss it tomorrow.
You got water on.
You got it, thank you.
Coffee breaks were at 8 o'clock.
I need to know the last one.
What was the question was stumped on?
No.
No, we just wanted to listen into the proceedings. Brad, I got one question on your hydrogeologic assessment waiver. Sure. In referencing the lots as they're laid out, the first one that we look at is 134 Buzzell Road. That seems to be to the south of what the last lot shown on Buzzell has got a number 163.
Yeah, so I off map, I think I'm off map, yeah.
Yep, okay. So, what is this? And then the one that is pertinent and shown is 250 Buzzell Road. That's across the street from Lot 3-4. I think there was one other one here. 288 is across the street from Lot 3-6.
Yes, yep.
Really? Okay, and the first one, shown on your hydrogeologic sheet here, 134 Buzzell off the plan. All three of those, did I mention 288? 288 is...
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. I'm not a geologist, but I'm wondering what to do in terms of the yield of the well on 134 Buzzell seems to be quite low. That's a pint a minute. And 250 Buzzell Road is a half gallon per minute. I don't know what to do with that information other than,
Those are pretty shallow wells.
right,
Why they stopped at 200 feet, and again, they could have misinformed the state on those yields,
yeah.
because, well, the 365 is a fairly deep well, 250.
No, on the next page, you got the 288, 240 feet, 1 gallon a minute.
Got it.
And then 170 at 7.5 gallons a minute.
Yeah. All over the place.
And I would think it's kind of up to the developer to drill enough water to get enough yield at his cost to come up with water for a house, otherwise they're not gonna sell it.
There you go. Is there any thresholds for that, that once it leaves here, that we have no say over that?
Correct.
You can run out of water in December, it's your...
I think the well drillers have an amount of water they have to get when they drill.
Because these houses are very sprinkled, that's the other, we talked about that.
Yep, so there's two different ways you could sprinkle. One would be the reserve is in the well, and you have more reserve in there with a variable speed pump, or you have a self-contained tank in the basement with 300 gallons, and then you have a fire pump in the house to offset that. So either way, you'd be able to calculate that. The well driller would need to know ahead of time.
Have you discussed that issue arising from this with Arnie and Brad?
Yep, we've talked about the two different ways to do the wells, and they were confident that they'll be able to get the water out of the well, even if they had to hydrofrack.
I talked to a gentleman that did my well in the old farmhouse, I left that well on that lot.
On the Andrews Road also?
Yes, plenty of water there, I got plenty of water, I get down a little bit deeper, but I said, get down, I want to go deeper so I get more water, I got plenty of water. But
Youngs Ridge Road seems to be very good. I mean,
Yeah.
good, 4 GPM and 7.5 GPM.
Yeah.
Respectively on the ones that, on Youngs Ridge, it's just on the Buzzell.
Yeah.
It seems to be kind of not as good. Okay.
Like Ken says, before I sell a lot or even build a house,
Right.
I'm gonna use my brother's lot as a guinea pig.
Yeah.
So I'll know exactly, I wouldn't feel comfortable building a house, knowing you have no water. And I'm confident that the people that talk to the new wells in that area, say there's plenty of water over that side, so, and like I said, my brother's, I'd be willing to put a well in before I get anything. I think it's good insurance for myself.
I just want to know,
Especially in the family.
Oh, yeah.
And what makes it hard when you sell lots in a subdivision where you have a well location radius and the septics are planned, if you just sell all the lots, then the people that buy them put the well over here and the septic here, and then the well radius is crossed and stuff. It's much easier for our department if you're in control of that. Because you know you have the plan, the septics are going here, the wells are going there, these are my well radiuses, and...
Well, once again, that's something I want to police, so I have a good reputation with Ken. So there's no issues down the road. Here's where the well's gonna go. I mean, me and Ken did the driveways, I said, if I have, can I move them 4 or 5 feet? He goes, that's it. But for peace of mind, I can control that too, like I am with the houses. I don't want somebody building a TP or building an outhouse over this and fear the neighbors or you people or myself, so that's something that I have control over too.
I was wondering again about the issue of some kind of conservation happening on the remainder of the lot, which is going to be in the neighborhood of, what did we say, high 50s, low 60s or something, total?
Yeah.
Youngs Ridge Road and,
Well, it's up to you.
east slope and west slope
Right.
of your land together.
Right.
The remainders come up to
Right.
around between 50 and 60 acres.
Probably 40 and 50.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's whatever Ken, whatever, however you guys want me to do it, we do a little bit different, and Mass Conservation takes it over.
Right.
I like that too, but I do and I don't, because sometimes they get getting carried away, they decide to put plaques out there, and I don't think it's fair to some people. You know, I'd like to have some input too, for protections for you people and the neighbors, as long as they can't build it, would be good about it.
I would suggest that you might be thinking of just a farm and open space easement there if you have some kind of understanding with Dave Langley, as you mentioned the other night.
Yeah.
You would still retain ownership of the land, but there'll be a proviso written in to the deed.
Absolutely.
It's more rigorous than a deed restriction.
Right.
It's actually an easement that stays with the property even when it changes hands.
I agree.
But you as the developer would retain title to it,
Okay.
and there'd be an entity, I don't think the town wants anymore,
Right.
wants to be in the business of real
Right.
estate. But that's along the lines of what
Yeah.
you've been thinking.
And I'm working with the lawyer now, which Ken's aware of who I hired. It's Lee, or I forget her last name, but she's involved with that. But anyhow, she is in the process right now, the best avenue for the town and for myself too. But I would like to, say if I did give it to the conservation, or gave it to the town, or give it to the abutters or whatever, I want to have control over cutting the field.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, I spent boatloads of money to have that look, and I like to either cut it, I'll manage it for at least a couple times a year, so I do want that, at least so I can go in and cut it. And like I said, I'm working close with Ken on it, getting some input, but I'm open for any suggestions, as long as everybody's protected.
So I think step one is the Buzzell Road subdivision, which is 7 lots, and then you have this remaining land. This remaining land is being, this back property line gets erased, and this remaining land is going to
My side.
21729, goes to that.
Yep.
Then when you come back in for your next one, we'll be looking at the whole.
Yeah, and I'll have a description of the lot lines behind the other side, and then, once it's approved on both pieces, then we'll take a description of the land, Brad will do, we'll give it to the lawyers, go through you people, public selectmen might be involved, I don't know if you get them involved, but then it'll be all this, described out and be ready to go. I would like to be able to get involved and keep it, so I can keep it nice and clean looking, and that's one of the works I'd like to be involved in.
I still need to review with the selectmen the accepting of the 25-foot wide right-of-way. Are you available next Tuesday night for a selectmen's meeting?
Sure.
All right, I'll verify we're on the agenda for that. I'm still waiting on the road commissioner to get through. Fire chief's all set with it. Brad, can you just put a note together for what the traffic count's gonna be for these?
I can do that, yes.
And then a note that it's underground power from the street to the houses,
I
correct?
can do that, yep.
And you'll have a copy of the covenances that you're gonna have for the houses
By when?
whenever you want your...
Yeah, it's probably, because I gave a lot to the woman, she walked the property, we were out there.
Yeah.
Probably not in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
But before I deed a lot, I have to do it for my own peace of mind too, but before anything is, I sell a lot, before it's deeded, it will be in place. It has to be.
It's, more likely, it's gonna be much more restrictive than the town guidelines.
Yeah.
But the board's usually just gonna wanna know what they've got out there.
Yep.
And did I miss the limits of excavation? Did you guys agree on that?
We didn't really
You didn't.
get too far beyond the Three Rivers Land Trust, but I'm still trying to draw everyone's attention to the contour lines on this map.
700?
Really
Yeah.
small, yeah, the 700, 710, right in that area, just try to figure out the easiest way to find where the back of the road would be by elevation, that's all I've got to work with. And if we could just come to an agreement on the number, and then I could get a total acreage of what's gonna be.
At the beginning on the south side of lot 1, that's 120 feet in the woods.
Yeah.
And as you get up further, about the middle,
Lots 1 and 2 are gonna be like an acre and a half, just to that's it. The rest of them is gonna go back to the 200 feet in, if you go to the back of the lot lines.
yeah, this is running about 388
Right.
To the 700.
to the 700.
I mean, I think it'd be more easy to do once we walk it. You're gonna say, something was beautiful, go to here. But to put something where you can go right now, I mean, hey, you might tell me not to do anything with it. But when you see what I'm gonna do, you're gonna say, go a little bit further, then we get to find and think, okay, we're going 150 feet or 100 feet back. Once we do the sidewalk, then we'll all know. You might say, stop it here, I'm okay with that too.
Well, it just makes me,
Because the tree's been cut for like 3 years now, and there's a lot of stuff growing back in, so I think I'll have the back of the lot lines done in 2 weeks on 3 or 4 lots, so I think it'd be a lot easier once we do the sidewalk out there. You can look at it, you might say, hey, go further or stop here.
so maybe we can agree tonight that you'll only go up to the back of the lots
No
before
problem.
the sidewalk.
That's all I'm gonna do, yeah.
And then maybe we will come up with a contract after that.
Yeah, it's close on, it might be over some areas, but it's nothing crazy. Yeah, I did agree to that, but that's a lot of work that I have to do now, so. The only thing that's left out is the road that goes down, the old farm had a road there.
Right.
Because they hammered it, and when they did all the tree cutting 3-4 years ago, so I went with the machine and cut it up a mess in there, so I went and cleaned it all up and hauled it all out of there when they were hauling stuff out. So that's the only thing that's disturbed. It's maybe 50 feet wide, goes down to maybe 15 feet to where it goes through the woods, so. Yeah, I did agree to that. I won't go any further than the lots.
Is it premature to contact Carl Davis and see a preliminary memorandum of understanding or something?
That would be with him and Kyle,
Yeah.
sound of it, they just put the other meeting in his number.
What's that for?
There's a gentleman in town who's the co-chair of Three Rivers Land Trust, which has been around in this area for 20 years or so.
Yeah.
And they may or may not be interested in talking with you about how to arrange the conservation of the remainders of what
The rest of the open
this
space.
east and west slope. But you would be the owner, as far as I understand it. And this land trust would be responsible for making sure that your wishes are carried forward into the future.
Good. I mean, if God forbid a tree falls down and, across the road, it looks like, a mess, I wouldn't mind going and cleaning it, at my expense and cutting the
It's
grass.
just in terms of,
Development.
yeah, okay, you're limiting development on these areas, number one.
Yeah.
And there'd probably be some kind of a tax structure there that would enable you to, you'd retain ownership, and under current use tax law, I think we have that in Massachusetts.
Yeah, well, there's no tax, because the tax goes with the open space, which goes to conservation, so there's no tax to me, or, the town takes it over.
No, the town.
The town won't take it over, right?
The town can't. The instrument you want to talk to this gentleman about is a conservation easement, and my hunch is, if you would be amenable to it, it would be a farm and open space, i.e. you'd be locking in the necessity to hay the open lands.
Okay.
I mean, that would no longer be a issue of choice, that would be an obligation.
Right.
And in return for that, and giving up the right of development, you would be in a lower tax bracket designated by the state.
I don't think, why would I want to pay taxes on 40 or 50 acres if I'm never going to do anything with it?
Because, well,
Usually what I've seen before, say it was just the 7 lots and you had the 40 acres of open space,
Yeah.
each person would be valued 1/7 of that property would be into theirs.
Okay.
Normally, same as, beach access or something like that. They had a waterfront lot. Each person would have 1/7 of that value added to their taxes.
Not that I want any more tax bills, but I mean, I'm going to get things improved.
Then that would go to all the property owners.
Okay.
Once you sold it.
Right, okay.
You would still get it until you sell it.
Right. I'm going to be sitting on a big tax liability as long as I sit on the lots, because that's my goal. I want to sit on it for a long time, so, and I know I'm going to be getting taxed on per lot compared to one big parcel, so it ain't going to be cheap, but, so I don't want to take any more tax burden on it. It's going to kill me, but we'll work it out. I'd like to meet with the guy, and he'll give me some ideas, and naturally, I don't do anything until I talk to Ken about anything, so, okay?
yeah, this would be very preliminary.
Yeah. Will you have to get a hold of me, or you want me to get a hold of him, or
Yeah, why don't you take the initiative?
call him?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get a hold of Ken or Brendan, I'll get the number, and I'll give him a call, and,
Okay.
okay?
So,
I was
yes,
talking, as the gentleman, Steve, was it?
yep,
Spoke of his field trip, I guess it was yesterday or
Today.
today.
you went out
It
today.
was yesterday, he called me yesterday, I was in Boston doing some more tests at the hospital, so,
Yeah.
but I drove back up this morning, I said, I'm gonna get first thing tomorrow morning, he agreed, so.
When we met with you on Tuesday,
Yeah,
I was heartened by the fact that when you were this high, acted made an impression on you, and it stayed to this day, so that you obviously share the sense that this is a nice little town to live
Without a
in.
doubt.
Good.
And talking to Steve today, we were probably a couple, 2-3 hours we were together, went up on my deck and we're stuck. And I enjoy that, but the guy, he's been up here, it seems like 150 years ago, but he knows what's going on, he knows a lot of the older people. And that I knew growing up from Mass, and they moved up here, so it was a pretty good experience today. He's a good guy too. It's good to have a guy like that. If I need something, he can police us.
Yeah.
So it protects me and it protects you people too, so pretty good. He said he could tell me anything, or any questions, he'd be more than happy to come out. So it worked out good.
Leslie, any other issues for you?
I think the questions I had are answered for the moment. I'm just looking forward to the sidewalk.
For the sidewalk. Gavin, you're at the same place?
Sure.
Before we adjourn, can we just tighten up? We have carpool over and meet here at 4:45, something like that?
Yeah,
That work?
that works.
Okay.
You'll be there.
I may actually come here first because we got the meeting afterward.
Yeah.
So I'd have to come here anyway.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
So, now, does that work for you? 5 o'clock?
Yep.
Yes, yep.
Okay, on Thursday, the 2nd. Give you a few more days to take care of Boston and stuff like that.
Well, they're telling me now I ain't gonna be good. I gotta, they're trying to tell, it could be 2, 3, 4 weeks, they want me there every day, so I'm trying to, my throat ain't healing. I beat the cancer, but my throat's not healing, so I gotta go in there every day and try to get it early in the morning, is just gonna, but we'll see what happens. They're supposed to let me know by tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, but if I do it in the morning, then I can still come to the meeting. I'll be here if I gotta skip a class.
Don't do that, don't do that.
But, Right now, it should work. It will work. I'll make it work.
Okay.
So next Tuesday, we're gonna meet Ken for the selectmen.
I just sent an email to verify it, so
Will you have Brenda let me know, or do you let me know now, or?
I'll let you know if it's not gonna happen. How about
Okay,
that?
great. So I'll wait to hear from you for next Tuesday. Do we need Brad here?
I wouldn't think so.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we've got the plan, so
Okay.
everything should be.
Great.
Given the nature of the disagreement, we'll call it, on open lands, it may be handy to have some information that you could convey to the board on, if you met with them on Tuesday, concerning the remainder of the voting again.
Yeah.
That might be good to have that conversation with Mr.
Yep.
Davis.
All right. Where do we stand?
Then,
We gonna do it?
For now.
Okay.
all set?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too.
Good luck, Connie.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we have Pine Ridge Campground Conditional Use Application.
No new information.
No new information?
No.
Okay. Any new business? Code enforcement?
No.
I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
Second. Second. We are adjourned.